you ignoring your calling? How long are you going to ignore your calling? This trajectory has been set since somebody first asked you, what do you want to be? What do you want to do with the rest of your life? I continue to think that it's asinine that we expect 18-year-olds to know what they want to do with the rest of their lives and don't equip them with the tools to be able to reevaluate when things shift and change. Hey, welcome to the Uncultured Podcast. I'm Shauna K. Henson. I am a lifestyle design coach, goal strategist, and corporate culture consultant, and I'm your host today. Today, I would like to talk to you about the notion of your vision. I think one of the things that is really important as we are getting older and coming more into ourselves, and when I say getting older, I mean 25 versus 15 kind of a thing. So getting older at any stage and throughout the course of the decades, I think what's really important is that we stop to reevaluate what is best for our lives. That's one of the reasons why I lead with the title of lifestyle design coach, but really just lifestyle design advocate is really more what it is. So my company's Team Trunk, it is at its essence a lifestyle design company. And more than anything, we work to encourage people to reconsider the format and shape of their lives until they get the best version of their lives. And so that work is deeply important to me. I'm very passionate about it. It's something that I don't think we teach enough. So at the point where we get to become adults, now we're kind of living versions of our lives that are not based on who we are now today, but based on who we have been previously. So some teenage version of ourselves that kind of creates the reality and trajectory of our lives. And unless or until we are encouraged to stop and take stock of what it is that we are doing, we tend to miss the point. The point is that you're not here to just exist. You're here to live a life that you absolutely love. And while not everybody agrees with me about that, it's totally fine. It is in fact true. Agreement does not make it any more relevant. It maybe makes it even more so. But at any rate, so one of the spaces that I find people have the largest degree of acceptance around dissatisfaction in their lives is around their employment, which is why I created this show all by itself, right? Like this moment is to really discuss what it looks like for you to have gainful employment that does not leave you feeling underserved, or malnourished. There's something about spending 8 to 10 hours a day on something that is going to deplete you and take from you, that leaves you like from a soul space malnourished. And so it's important to consider how that works with you and not just pays your bills. Paying your bills is like the most basest version of what it means to be gainfully employed. And so then if we can challenge a bit of that, it's important. So what becomes massively important in this entire picture of what it looks like for you to reimagine and re-envision your life with work at the center, but in a way that is feeding you and not causing malnourishment, you have to first know your vision. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, without a vision, the people perish. And I like to talk about the perishing part of that scripture very much like a standing still. Without a vision, it's so easy. It's so easy to just stay in the habitual kind of rote way of doing things. So the life that you set yourself on the trajectory of, or someone else set you on the trajectory of when you were, 16 years old in high school, and they say to you, well, what do you want to be? That's a trajectory. If I could get super granular on that for a minute, when I say it's trajectory, I don't mean that you had some sort of career planning course as a 27-year-old, and then you made some decisions from there. This trajectory has been set since somebody first asked you, what do you want to be? What do you want to be? What do you want to do with the rest of your life? I continue to think that it's asinine that we expect 18-year-olds to know what they want to do with the rest of their lives and don't equip them with the tools to be able to reevaluate when things shift and change. It's very much pick the career as a teenager. Pick the career, go work that career, and get promoted in that career until you retire. And that has been the culture of corporate and work forever. Forever, that has been the culture. And there's no talk about vision of your life. There's no talk about designing on purpose what it is that you want to do. And there's no talk about what you want to leave in and contribute to the world. And so then when we talk about without a vision, the people perish, without a vision, without challenging what has been in favor of building what could be, you end up habitually just by virtue of being on autopilot from 16 till 60, just going just going and going and going and not noticing that you are being depleted and malnourished because what you've placed at the center of your life is not working. Now, there are people that have faith centers and family centers and some other types of centers. And so you would challenge me about work being at the center. But can we just say and agree that it's what you spend the most time on? You spend the most time working, more a disproportionate amount of time working. And so in some ways, whether you establish it as important to you as your faith or as important to you as your family, I guarantee that you spend more time working than you do on either one of those things. And if you it's not a bad thing that you do. It's hard to argue that that is not your center when you spend so much time, effort and energy on it, when you are building your plans based on advancing your career, when you are building your vacation based on your job, when you are building your opportunities for your family and the things that you're trying to do, investment wise and portfolio wise and family trust wise, all those things have everything to do with the job you are working. So, in some ways, it is your center. That said, having something that is rotting at your center is going to rot the whole thing. There is, in fact, no way for you to have a center that is rotting and depleting and malnourishing and sucking the life out of you and calling your life good. So, without a vision, the people perish. Without a vision, without a concrete way and posture to evaluate whether or not these things are adding to you and not depleting you, you will just kind of continue on the road. In my own journey, I remember at the point where in my corporate career, I had graduated college, gotten the electrical engineering degree, and I had gone to be a systems engineer. And in that moment, I found myself feeling fully accomplished that I had done the thing I set out to do, which was get the best job that I could, make the most money I could, and be as impressive as I could, right? Because I was competing. I was competing to not be mediocre. I was competing to be impressive, as we all are when we're in there's educational environments. It's a competition, 100%. It's designed to be a competition, right? So I competed and I won. I won. I got in the organizations. I got the 5 job offers. I was near the top of my class in the way that was most important to me. I was well rounded. I was president of organizations. I graduated with all the stuff, like with all this stuff, I went out into the world to do the thing that my, really in this case, 12-year-old self had decided to invest in. I had gone to engineering camps. I had gone to programs and space programs and science programs and math camps. And I was a tutor and I did all this stuff, right? To get into the job that I did all this working to get to sit at that job and try to convince myself this is what I wanted. And in my case, you could call it lucky or fortunate or whatever, to have been so uncomfortable and at a certain place in my spiritual journey where I knew it was just time for me to quit. Something in my intuition, my God voice, my holy center, I don't know how you define it, but something in me knew I was not in the right place. And so I quit my job and went on a journey of the figuring outs. And the figuring outs are not always comfortable and not always easy. And uh it was a necessary thing for me so that I could have this conversation with you now. The challenge for me was that I had no vision. The challenge for me was that I had been handed expectation, and that expectation shaped the way that I was going to move forward in my stuff. I had been handed competition, I had been handed a bar. And instead of thinking about the picture, I got focused on the bar. I got focused on achieving. And then achieving became my habit. Once achieving becomes your habit, you rarely look up to look out and around. You kind of just look for the next piece of the achievement puzzle so that you can continue achieving. Once you get hooked to achieving, it's like getting in, like starting your workouts and stuff, right? So you start working out and you're trying to lose 5 pounds or 10 pounds or 20 pounds. And at first, it is the most difficult thing on the planet. Oh my gosh. I have yo-yoed in the course of my life in my weight. And so I'm very familiar with this journey, the start and stop and the restart, the whole bit. But when you are starting for the very first time, It doesn't really kick into gear until you see something. But once you see a change, once somebody says to you, "Oh man, you look really good. What are you doing?" Now you're hooked. Now you are hooked on the progress and not the process. You're hooked on the achievement and not the way that you're going about like the whole picture. It's not about, I want to live a happier life. It now becomes about the next 5 pounds, the next 5 pounds, right? And so you can get addicted to achieving without really stopping to consider the whole picture. The same thing is true with your job. You can get addicted to the promotion, you can get addicted to the accolades, you can get addicted to being one of a few specialized things inside of your sphere. You can get addicted to the idea of, another zero in your paycheck, and that starts to feel like achievement. But does this thing that's at the core of you add to your bigger picture? For some of you, the answer is yes. For a lot of you, the answer is no. For a lot of you, when you stop to consider your big vision, this job has nothing to do with it. This job is likely funding it, but it's not actually causing it. Your career should show you the way forward. Your career should show you a course and an opportunity for you to bring your ideas and your big vision out into the world. One of the things I can tell you without any hesitation is that when you have something that's at the core of you that is rotting and sucking things out of you, that's taking out the nutrition. So again, that apple example, right? If the core of the apple is rotten, then it's going to effectively rot from the inside out. So if something like your career or your job where you spend a lot of your time is sitting at the core of you and it is rotting, it's going to start to show. And not just show, but it's going, in this case, is like a very like real practical thing. It's going to start to block you. It's going to start to show in ways that look like stifling. They look like crankiness. They look like irritability. They look like you feel like you're in a chokehold. Really, is the way that it starts to manifest and materialize. And so then, is it of help to you to have the stability of being able to know when your paycheck is coming when you are rotting from the inside? And maybe for some of you, this is kind of like, all right, rotting from the inside. It's just a job, Shauna. That's ridiculous. Yes, it's not the job. Really, it's your time and your energy, which you are wasting by giving it to something that is causing you to rot. And so I've mentioned things about, without a vision, the people perish. That's the perishing. Character and opportunity. You have an opportunity to show your character in a way that calls you forward and calls you out of where you have grown habitually addicted and contented. That whole thing of working habitually without considering whether your calling and what is calling you up, it is doing a disservice to not just you, but your community. And the people that you feel most attached to, they are not going to get the full benefit of you and your existence without you really leaning into what you are feeling called to. So that's the big thing, right? Like, it's not just casting some arbitrary thoughts or having some arbitrary dream. It's, what are you feeling called to doing? And without stopping to consider that, it is doing a disservice to everybody around you and to your entire community. It's doing a disservice. So what are you feeling called to? What are you feeling chosen to? So even in my own situation, when I felt deeply like I just a knowing that I needed to leave my job, it was a calling out of the thing. It wasn't just, oh, you don't need to be here. It was, no, being here is causing you to ignore this. And that's the big thing. You've got to make room for the thing that you are feeling called to. And if your core, the thing that is sitting at the core because it's taking up all of your time, if that is rotting, then it is preventing you from hearing the calling. The calling is the most important thing for you to do and be. It's the thing that you were put here. What you are called to is only yours to do, right? And so then if you are spending your time, effort, and energy in a rotting environment, what do you have left to give to your calling? Your calling, for all intents and purposes, is what you're called to. The job is not what you're called to. The calling is what you're called to. And if the job is causing rotting, then it's preventing you from getting in touch with your God-given calling. That internal calling is that deep-seated knowing that deep-seated sing that is persistently calling to you from the inside. It's beckoning to you. It makes you pay attention to it. It never quite lets you go. It feels like a nagging almost. And when you try to ignore it, you have to go to great lengths to numb yourself to be able to do that because it needs you, it wants you, and it's trying to get to you. And so it's gnawing at you, but it needs you. The calling is ethereal until it has your body to become tangible. So 16-year-old us made choices and that set us on a path. And then people came along to support that path because that's what people that care about you should do. They should come along and support you. They should come along and help you figure out the best way to get on a good career path. They should pair you with people and put you in camp. Sure, they should. And so then it's the work of adult you to challenge everything that not adult you decided that put you on the path that you're on. And so here you are. And my challenge to you today is, are you ignoring your calling? Are you ignoring your calling? And if you are ignoring your calling, how long are you going to ignore your calling? For some of you, the prescription here is to do exactly what I did and quit your job wholeheartedly and fully. If you are evaluating this moment and acknowledging that you have been, in fact, ignoring your calling, then your trajectory is going to remain stifled for as long as you work to ignore it. Because to be fair, when it's your time, it takes work to ignore your calling. It's like it gets so persistent and so naggy that you won't sleep. Food will taste weird. You'll be cranky with everybody. It will just be time for you to make a move and make a choice. And for some of you, the free fall is going to give you the knowing. The free fall of not having the stability of job is going to give you the knowing. Whether it's knowing for next company, next career path, next journey, or to start your own thing and do your own stuff and to show up in the world just that more fully as who you were always called and designed to be. But if you are ignoring the calling, you are stifling everything. Stifling everything is never going to give you the life that you want. If you say to yourself, oh, I want to be happy, you can't if you're ignoring the calling. It's not a thing. The calling is why you're here. You're chosen for a work. You're chosen to do something. You're chosen to be here to allow the calling out of the ethereal and into the tangible because you're it. You are it. Yet the choice is rotting at the job, rotting again, inside out, rotting where it's because it's taking up so much time and it's not causing you to grow and or add to the world and be anything that feels right to you. The rotting that comes from that is stifling the calling. It's time for you to stop stifling your calling. It's time for you to rise to the occasion. It's time for you to know and go. It's time for you to go. Hey, thanks for tuning into the Uncultured Podcast. I've been your host, Shauna K. Henson, lifestyle design coach, goal strategist, and corporate culture consultant. If this is your first time here, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with somebody you know. If you're coming back for more, thanks so much for being here, and I hope that you'll tune in again. No matter what you're doing in your life, remember to make intentional choices, and wherever you are starting, remember that's not where you have to finish. Your life is yours alone, and your next dream is only one goal strategy away from getting exactly what you desire.